Hi guys, welcome on in. We are setting up, but this is our March forecast. I just realized we have this. We were at an event for the 222 portal, and we were selling self-acceptance vials. Oh, this was a gift from one of my friends, clients. It's so pretty. You can see the cord here. Ooh. I'm not sure where to put that. But I am awaiting Elam. We are going to go over planetary transitions, lunar phases, which, let me see here. I'm trying to see the best position. Different projects that we're doing at Cosmic Energy and Spiritual Wellness. We are putting together a lot of different things in the workings of it. I'm also going to highlight on some of the services that we'll be offering, some current, others that are new. So grab your favorite hot and cold combo beverage. We actually just got over the flu, and typically my go-to hot and cold, my hot would have been a nice either Peace coffee or Black Rifle coffee, and my cold would have been I make a coconut milk matcha. Oh my goodness, that would have been my go-to, but both of those have either coconut milk or some form of alternative dairy, and even the alternative dairy, I'm just like, no, thank you. So he is being a divine gentleman and making me some tea. I want to wipe off this board because I want to write on it, because the board that I typically write on, not that one, that one's our calendar. You can kind of see all of our project stuff all around the office. But the board I write on that I was doing the celestial strengthening, that is actually across from me, and the light, the way it's hitting it, isn't the greatest. We're going to get back to celestial strengthening classes. Please let me know in the comments or something if you guys enjoyed the weekly celestial strengthening. That was where I was doing the runic classes. What else? Just a lot of different types of forms of divination to strengthen your intuition. I feel like that is so important. It's one thing to install and accept your natural abilities. It's another thing to continuously utilize them so that they are strengthened. It's like a muscle memory. You want to continuously work with your intuition so it is heightened. That is what we do here, and that's what we love. I want to get into, we just got over a new moon in Pisces. I want to say February 27th, Thursday. This is my Hobonichi. I'm just going to read from here the exact dates. Yes, that was a very interesting one because Saturn was semi-sextile Chiron. So honestly, this entire week with Venus going in retrograde, a lot of heart chakra balancing that masculine and feminine energy, and feeling safe within expressing our masculine and femininity. Then we have a lot of Mercury energy for the next 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks of March has everything to do with Mercury. And Mercury is that throat chakra. I go more in depth on Being Cosmic Chaos podcast. If you have yet to go follow it and subscribe, check it out on Spotify. If you don't have Spotify, go to our website, cosmicenergy-spiritualwellness.com. That has a spot for podcast. You just click on it and it'll send you to everything that is updated every Friday. So yesterday was a Friday forecast for the week to come that I go more in depth on how to work with these transitions. And I'll be speaking about the throat chakra, but there is a lot of throat chakra work happening, especially if you have Aries and Pisces placements. So that'll be interesting. First quarter in Gemini. You guys, Gemini, there is going to be a lot of challenges in this area, and you're actually meant to utilize your upper chakras to balance this out. This, I can really say, has a lot to do with our upper chakras, especially we have a total eclipse coming up for the full moon. It's in Virgo. So now we think about the Virgo placement. We think about discernment. We think about, whenever I think of elements or zodiac signs, if I want to simplify the zodiac signs, let's say I don't know all the 12 zodiac signs. Well, there's 4 elements. There's air, fire, water, earth. Virgo falls under the earth signs, and there is an infant, a baby of that element, and then we have a teenager, so knowledgeable, testing the boundaries, but not an adolescent. And then we have an adolescent of that element, and usually the adolescent of an element is mixed with another element. I find that fascinating. So for the earth signs, the baby sign would be a Taurus and the teenager would be a Virgo. So, and then we have a Capricorn being that adult earth sign, which when you think of Capricorn, it's a sea goat. You have a very watery earth sign. So you can see the emotional intelligence within that earth element. Well, we have an eclipse. So whenever we have an eclipse, it is, thank you, love.
Of course.
When we have an eclipse, it is holding off that lunar energy. I was looking for the dry eraser for this. I think it's over here. Maybe. We got some new tools to make the tools. I was so stoked. It was pretty great going into Harbor Freight, Hobo Freight. We like nicknaming the stores. But it was pretty great going there and finding everything that we needed to craft these shamanic tools. Any luck? I think it's over there. No. Well, good gravy. So we have this teenager sign, this discernment, and an eclipse is giving you all of that lunar energy, but it's actually allowing you a moment to not feel all of those emotions. You're given a chance to discern those emotions, and it's bringing in those darker aspects that we're not meant to be afraid of. Different thing on the list, maybe a spray bottle or something.
Dry erase spray.
Because this is not working. Let's need like a. No, that's totally.
That works for what we need it for.
Okay. So we have the lunar eclipse. I was going over transitions.
Okay.
And I was talking about how a lot of the planetary transitions have a lot to do with our upper chakras, with Venus being that feminine heart chakra. We have Mercury going into Aries, and then out of Aries into Pisces. And that has a lot to do with our throat chakra. So we're seeing already more focus on these upper chakras.
Yes, absolutely. People are coming out of their, I guess, vocal shells more. They're placing more.
We have a bunch of shells.
Yes. But they're speaking up. They're putting up boundaries. They're stating things. They're expressing ideas. I've noticed that a lot more just with the people that we've even been around.
Yes, and I feel like people get really timid whenever Mercury retrogrades come around.
Yes.
And it's not to be scared of them. It's really just to show a new way to communicate, that there's more than one way.
Slow down with it and think about it. What works for you, for whatever it may be in.
And typically, Mercury retrogrades bring vehicle issues. They bring computer issues, like a lot of issues. But if we really hone in on the attempt that Mercury is doing, it's really saying, okay, well, if your vehicle isn't working, were you meant to go to where you were headed?
Yes.
Is there a different way you can go there, or were you never meant to go there? Was that a false expression of yourself?
I noticed it brings a lot of things, a lot of issues, but when you boil them down, they're more like minor inconveniences.
It's almost when you wish for something to not happen and then it doesn't happen, and then you're like, oh shoot, it's not happening, when actually you didn't want it to happen in the first place. I feel like Mercury is showing what you didn't want to happen in the first place anyways. And there's this like false sense of self that is sad or disappointed. Like, obviously it sucks to have something happen to your vehicle or to your computer or to your cell phone, or have miscommunications, but it's really universe providing a, what'd you call it?
Almost a means of rest. To be able to actually focus on the things you need to focus on.
The actual communication that should be worked on. I'll explain an experience we had. So we co-parent, and something hilarious happened with our cell phones, where quite literally we didn't receive a message like through the phone, but then what was it? Everyone else could see it.
Yeah.
Like, it was so bizarre.
It's a parent group chat, so like everyone could see it except us.
It was very strange. So bizarre. And also knowing about Mercury retrograde, it forced me to communicate and be clear with my communication. Like, hey, I didn't receive this. And it was so interesting because it made me uncomfortable. But in the end, it actually opened up a whole new level of communicating with the co-parents. So it was super neat, and it's wonderful to see how you communicate honestly when the planets influence like an honest perspective. Where am I at here? So we have Mercury going in retrograde in Aries, and then March 17th through the 23rd. We have Juno going in retrograde in Sagittarius. I touched base on this a little bit. It's not even in my book because I want it to be in a special book for lovers and friends. No, it's for marriage.
Very special book.
I'm actually doing research on asteroids and placements that are specific for relationships, marital, family relationships, and Juno is one of those placements. And it will be in Sagittarius and also retrograding. So again, retrograde is an observational period. So towards the end of March, we will be observing how we have been in past relationships, and not even to say like with another person, but how have you been able to see the growth within your own relationship? And then it kind of circles back with that Mercury in retrograde. How have you seen the growth in communication within your relationship? So that I'm stoked about, especially since our household has a lot of Sagittarian placements.
Oh, yes.
The sun enters Aries. You know what that means. Celestial Courage on YouTube. So Celestial Courage is a YouTube video that I do, and it has all to do with the sun's energy that charges you up. So whenever the sun shifts into a constellation, it charges up your solar plexus. And depending on if you have Aries placements, those placements are also charged up. But what I do like to take note, the sun is in Pisces right now. So if you have Pisces placements that are being charged up, my candle is like super excited. If you have Pisces placements that are being charged up, around that time that the sun is shifting into Aries, you can begin feeling that unplug. So I do like to take note, if you have a lot of Pisces placements, you might start feeling energetically slower, or like you're lagging, or you're like, oh my goodness, I just did all of those things. Why am I not up to par physically, like energetically? And it's nothing to do with you. It more has to do with the solar influence that was giving you that supercharge. So what I really like to say, especially to my clients, depending on your placements, whatever you have placements in, when the sun is in those placements, that is when you do your most physically laborious work. Not saying like go work the yard or something, but like that's typically the time that you will have the most physical energy. So knowing to give your physical body some grace when you feel that unplug. If you have a lot of Aries signs or placements, then you're going to feel the plug in. So you're going to get some energy and feel like, woo. Yes, I did the woo. And the spring equinox is also the 20th. Spring equinox. What are we doing for the spring equinox? It feels like spring over here.
Early spring here, apparently. Yeah. I don't know. What are we doing? Celebrating, obviously.
Yes, with a drum class.
Yep.
Yes. So each spring we have a bison drum painting class, and it is a bison style drum. So it's not made out of bison. It's from Remo. They have wonderful drums. We actually have 3 of them.
Synthetic.
Yes. And I believe it's all recyclable.
Not that anything detrimental will happen to your drum that you'll need to toss it out. But...
No, but it is earth conscientious.
Oh, you're saying the synthetic material is recycled.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, sure, you could recycle your drum.
Yes.
Good. I don't know why you'd want to
Make a new drum of recycled old drums. I don't know.
Are you talking about I don't even know how to say this word, heirloom.
Heirloom?
Yeah, you pass it down to the next when you pass.
Heirloom?
Oh. Oh, that's when people say herbs.
Herbs and
That's
herbs.
the same thing. Or
Yes.
harbor.
Harbor. It is harbor.
Not arbor.
There's arbor too. That's like trees. But like harbor, like taking the boat
English.
into a harbor.
We need some strict rules here.
Yeah.
Please.
English sucks.
So this one I got from my shaman in 2022. It's so fascinating though. So this is a 16-inch. And I have two 16 inches. And they sound completely different. So I love calling this one my Mercury drum. And that one is my spring drum. This one, it sounds so different. Yeah. But that one has light language all over it. Each spring I put light language, actually on the sides. I wonder if me painting around the edges. There's some light language. Each spring equinox, I receive different light codes. Whenever you sit in the sun, you can have light codes. Light language.
Close your eyes. Shapes, symbols. That's how I see them, anyways.
Yeah, shapes, symbols, sounds. Yeah. I believe you pulled light language. Yeah, they sound. They sound. So
they harmonize well.
Very excited. That is both 16 inches. We're offering 16-inch, 14, and 12 for the bison drum painting class. We sync the drum to your chakra system and we raise your vibration to meet a bison spirit and paint that bison spirit's vibration on here. So pretty much the bison spirit is letting you know how it's going to work in your life and what to paint.
So even if you think you're not creative, it doesn't matter.
We're all creative at heart.
Paint what comes to you. It doesn't matter what it is.
I firmly believe everyone is creative. It's just a blockage. Yeah. There's some sort of disconnect
sort of third eye veil.
Yes, there's definitely a veil. There's a program that you're not good enough or you don't have the artistic ability. And that's why art is for everyone, because it's to the perception of someone's reality. You can't grade art, even though there's quite literally classes that grade art. I mean,
realistically, you go to a museum and you look at some famous paintings and you're like, wow, I can paint better than that. But for whatever reason, people think it's great. I mean,
it's art.
It's art.
You know. And we've extended that to be open for in-person class till tomorrow, 11:50 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, so we're very excited. This will be the first time having the class at Divine Lights in Anoka. But this will be our third year having a drum painting class for the spring equinox. Should we talk about the first autumn class?
Yes.
I'm too excited.
Too excited not to, yes.
So for the autumn equinox, we will also be doing a drum painting class. It's going to be rawhide. So it will be an actual animal's hide.
Are we saying what kind?
No.
Or should we ask the coin?
Oh dear. Elam got a yes/no coin.
It says
No. We're not going to say the kind, even though you can go on the website and see.
Yes. I mean, you didn't hear that from us.
You can check out the website and literally see all of our events. We can spill about the class coming up in April.
Yes.
So with the drums and the new clients and anyone who has an instrument, or even if you don't have an instrument, we'll be having a trance dance class at Divine Lights. It will be twice a month, each Friday. We have yet to determine a time.
Every other Friday.
Yeah. That's twice a month. On Fridays.
Oh, okay. I heard it wrong then. Sorry.
Bi-weekly. I don't really know how to say that. The dates will be online. It is an in-person class. But I will be teaching how to have an out-of-body experience, and you will be dancing with your spirit outside of your body. How exciting. Trance dancing. Straight up genie work. Mm-hmm. What next?
What is next?
We have Vesta going in retrograde in Scorpio. And then our last quarter in Capricorn. So the last quarter in Capricorn is really telling me that whatever we are going to be allowing is really going to advance our physical life. Like there is just one last thing that we may not be seeing. And I feel like Vesta going in retrograde is going to assist us in seeing that. Vesta has a lot to do. It's a gateway. And it has everything to do with accessing our 12th dimensional blueprint. And we're going to be looking at ways that we did not listen to our higher aspect of life. And we're going to be choosing, okay, well, I did that in the past. Let's reroute and go this direction. But there's still something physical that needs to shift. There are physical actions that, quite frankly, it has a lot to do with putting a lot on yourself. And this physical action will have to do with connecting and collaborating with others so you can move forward. Which, I mean, that can be tricky.
That can be tough.
We're working on our upper chakras, and I feel those are very intuitive chakras. Those are very to yourself chakras. I feel like your lower chakras are, well, I'm an intuitive, but your lower chakras are hard to hide. Like when someone has a blocked or overactive root chakra, you can see the fear on someone, right? You can sense that they're scared. Or sacral chakra, I'm not creative, I don't know how to make that. They solar plexus blockage, I'm not confident, they doubt themselves. So like you can really physically see the lower chakras being blocked, but the upper chakras are very intimate and to yourself. And if you don't know a person well enough, you might not know if they need help or not.
They're on those higher planes.
So that'll be really cool of March, to be opening us up and observing like, oh, others can help you in these manners as well. Then we have Venus entering Pisces on the 27th. And we end the month because, again, 2025 is super cool and it's ending months with the new moon with a partial solar eclipse in Aries. And Mercury is going in retrograde. Well, it's still in retrograde, but it'll be in Pisces. So it's kind of teeter-tottering. And we have Neptune entering Aries, which is fascinating because Neptune's been in the same sign since 2011. So Neptune is connected to your divine feminine third eye. So we have a lot of receiving energy, that divine feminine heart. We're receiving a lot, and it's interesting to have a partial solar eclipse because it's cutting off. And I feel as though we're going to see what has your ego been receiving and what has your heart been receiving. Do they match? Are they compatible? How do they affect your emotions versus your perception of reality? So that I'm actually pretty stoked about. My goodness. So that's the planetary and lunar aspects.
Whole month.
Mm-hmm. I also partially began without you because you were making this perfect tea.
Oh.
So,
Okay.
what else? June, we will have the end of June, we will have our third eye chakra turtle shell rattles. Here's an example of the large shell. The turtle shell rattle will be complete, and we are making them with black rabbit fur and spruce logs. Here's an example of one that I'm working on. So stoked. So excited. And it smells so great.
A finished product will be similar in size and shape to this.
And then here is a small.
Comparison.
Here, for size comparison. Large, small. So those are the two available sizes. And they are, I believe, we'll only have smalls available. We have 3 smalls available. By the end of June, they'll be ready and wrapped, and they'll have been going through all of the new moon and full moon initiations and charging ports and clearing centers. So we're very, very stoked and excited to craft these, especially for your third eye. More information to come on the website. What else?
I don't know. What else we got going on?
That shell is claimed. Why did I think we had another shell? Do we only have 3? Am I missing one?
We only have 3. Oh, it's upstairs.
No. We should have 4 small shells.
It's around somewhere.
We'll find it.
I think it's. Yeah, it's somewhere.
Well, I know one's claimed. So that one has its own home. But we have March 5th, the Angelic Flame reading on Facebook at 1 p.m. And the same day at 2 p.m., the Starseed channeling. We will, in summer, dates are coming through, have a Starseed gathering for a class about contacting star beings. I'm so excited.
Yes.
Especially what is to come. I'm just so stoked. Let's do some channeling. I feel like there's a few messages that are wanting to come through.
Okay.
Is my toolbox down here? Yay! Oh, there he is. I just got reminded where the turtle shell is. Came with today. He came with. Move this over. I was like right in my range. I was like, the incense. I'm happy. We haven't had it in a month.
Well, that flavor.
Yes, we haven't had my favorite rainforest flavor in a month. We've been last month we used pyramid.
Yes, pyramid's good.
This one, pyramids.
I use patchouli for when I had clients, but
Let's see. Oh, you know who we have yet to introduce that I want to bring? Our alien amethyst.
oh,
We do have our alien amethyst. Whoa,
it's upstairs.
that was very fast. Okay. So the Galactic Federation is being very adamant about reptilians around this time. Resilient. Yeah. Torsians. So I actually mentioned this this is fascinating. I mention it for Neptune in Aries. As Neptune shifts in Aries, it's going to be activating the original DNA makeup that was intended for planet Earth. Ooh. Thank you. I was definitely needing this, buddy. So this is our alien amethyst. And I just got finished describing how the original Earthlings are going to be activated, but at the moment, there's still a program of fear. There's still a program of victimhood. And what I find fascinating is a lot of the people that you see stuck in this victimhood mindset, I can almost see their soul like caged up. Those are the actual Turians. Those are the actual beings that were meant to evolve from this planet that actually began descending, devolving. I want to actually see more here. the World card. Yeah, this is happening everywhere, and it's going to really shift once the spring equinox is going to be there's a puppy. The spring equinox is really going to be awakening a sense of boldness in people that are stuck in that victimhood program. Yes, and then there's going to be immense happiness. They're going to be getting their reality back. I feel the Galactic Federation is being very adamant that it's not a time to fight one another. It's not a time to... Interesting. It's not a time to be right. It's not a time for I told you so. As wonderful and great as it may feel for the moment to confirmation to be right or to say I told you so, it's more on the lines of allowing that person a breath, allowing that person to understand their reality isn't being controlled anymore. Their emotions are actually going to feel almost... They may be split between feeling emotionless and overly emotional, because this whole time I can see that we're only given a handful of emotions. They're only given... You can only feel sad. You can only feel scared. You can only feel intimidated. They're only given like these certain emotions, and that's what they're used to. Now that this program is being lifted off of the originals of this planet, I feel like that's what I'm going to call them now. Feeling happiness without guilt or intimidation or fear is going to be almost scary. So giving those people time to adjust to the vastness of energy and emotions that will be available. Because again, these are also people that were incredibly and are incredibly intuitive. That is why they were being programmed, is because their abilities were that intimidating to the reptilians. Get one last message and we'll wrap up this channeling. Alpha Centaurians, I'm smiling because I had a pick a card. If you follow us on Facebook, I do pick a cards, different decks once a month. But it's fascinating. Alpha Centaurians aren't known to reach out to many individuals, but almost every single individual that picked a card it was the Alpha Centaurian. And they speak about planning. They speak about being in your high intelligence, getting into esoteric knowledge. And that's is what a lot of... We've been in this, right? But the people that have been programmed haven't had the luxury to dive into this because of their programming. So now that the programming is being lifted, give them a moment to adjust to their energy, to their emotions, and then really be there for them while they strategize on how to absorb this information and essentially how to remember themselves. Thank you so much, Galactic Federation. I appreciate your views and insights. I will be doing a live channeling on Instagram, March 5th. Starseed channelings, they're always Galactic Federation based with me. Those are available for virtual and in-person bookings. Whew. So I have my trance dancing class. What do you have available?
Currently, seasonal chakra cleanses and card readings. Sessions can be both online or in person at we're in Divine Lights in Anoka. Excuse me. Also planning on offering mentorship programs soon. Working out details now. So stay tuned for that on the website. If you are interested, send us an email. Yeah.
And you're also assisting me with creating the ancient astrology classes.
Yes, ancient astrology classes are going to be awesome. Going to be packed full of really cool ancient civilization stuff.
Yes, we're going prior to Roman and Greek mythology.
We're going older than the last few thousand years. We're going like...
When I say ancient astrology...
It's before the constellations were called what they are now.
Yes, so I'm very stoked to be offering ancient astrology classes. I offer astral alignments that entails a natal chart reading. Hi, Pono puppies. Natal chart reading that goes with ancient astrology, where we compare your Eastern, Western, and Chinese charts. So we compare those three charts to an entire season. So that I'm very excited about. Very, very. Yes. His coin said yes.
Happy and said yes.
And that is what we have to offer for March. We have the equinox coming up. We have the event coming up. We have the star being gatherings coming up for summer. Those will be first come, first serve sign up. We need to see how many people can fit in the location. So very, very excited to continue this journey. Thank you so, so much for hearing us out and for being here. We love you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, namaste, bless. Bye.